Hello and welcome to the Hounding Harmony Dog Training Podcast, the show that helps you go from chaos to calm with your dog, one episode at a time. I'm Emily, a dog trainer and licensed veterinary technician, here to give you practical tips, real-life strategies, and the confidence to raise a well-behaved, obedient dog without the overwhelm. Let's jump in and create a calm and connected life with your dog. Today we're talking about how you can exercise and utilize your dog's energy without needing a big backyard or taking them on a run. So today you're going to leave with some practical tools and ideas that will help you engage your dog's brain and help minimize those destructive and bored behaviors that you might be seeing. I'm not really sure where the idea got started that running your dog is the best way to release their energy, but it is actually one of the most inefficient methods because of a few reasons. When they're running around without any direction, they aren't engaging their brain like at all. I like to use running as a prerequisite for training or other work because it takes the edge off, but there's still so much left. You've probably seen this with your own dog, that when you have them just loose playing, running around, that yes, eventually it will use up their energy, but they get like crazier and crazier as they're doing it. They naturally will need more and more run time to tire them out because they will continue to build stamina. So depending on your breed, they could need hours of run time to actually wear out. And why not use our time and their energy into something more productive and a little less primal? I'm not saying running around is completely useless. There's a time and there's a place, but it should not be the only way that you are helping them release energy. Now, if you're listening and you have no idea why I'm even talking about this, you are part of the few, the ones who have a real couch potato with very low energy needs. They probably get the zoomies once a month, and the rest of us, especially those with younger dogs and or working bred dogs, we're fighting for our lives because there's a Tasmanian devil-style tornado that is going through our home multiple times a day if we don't actively help them get their energy out in more productive ways. And when we aren't proactive about utilizing their energy, they will direct it in ways that we don't want them to. You can see this in destructive behavior. Some dogs become escape artists, and they'll just do whatever scratches their brain and gives them a perceived purpose. Most of the naughty behaviors you're seeing stem from unused or undirected energy. I personally have experienced this many times because I've always had higher energy dogs, and it's hard to keep up with these things no matter how educated you are, how practiced you are. If you're not being intentional about it, it's just not going to happen. This is why Coda knows how to open any latch and or door with one of those like long handles, or why my old border collie would catch me mice, because they had a ton of unused brain power that I wasn't helping them use. They figured out their own ways to use it. Here are some of the best ways I've found and honestly imagined up to help you expend your dog's energy, work their mind and body without validating that excuse of needing a fenced backyard or time to run with them. When you're thinking of ideas, go through what you know about your dog. What are their natural instincts, interests? What's going to work for you in your area, in your circumstance? Just get creative about it. Don't get discouraged if you don't find something that really clicks for you guys right away. Just keep trying things. Throw spaghetti at the wall. And the only goal here isn't just to help them use their energy. It's also for you both to enjoy what you're doing together. Make it a game for each of you. Make it satisfying for you. Okay, so first is nose work. I finally Googled it, and the ratio of sniff work to physical exercise is 20 minutes of sniff work can be as tiring as an entire hour of physical exercise. This is because you're engaging more senses, you're engaging their brain, they're having to think, and it can be something that you both really enjoy depending how you introduce it. So a really easy way to do it in your home is you can hide kibbles throughout the house. You can play hide and seek with their favorite toy. A really relaxing one would be to take them on a walk where your entire goal is to let them explore with their nose. So, like, make sure you're listening to a podcast or something so that you are not always just trying to rush them along, because you want them to stop, you want them to sniff, you want them to learn. Another easy thing that you can implement in your daily routine is start doing enrichment during their meals. So that looks like giving them their food out of a puzzle style feeder. And you don't have to buy one of these. You can start to feed them out of a pop bottle. You could feed them out of a snuffle mat. That's kind of like a rug with all these little fabric kind of hiding spots, or even a slow feeder. This could be a DIY slow feeder where you have a bunch of like tennis balls in their bowl. Anything that helps them or requires them to work a little bit harder for their food. Even playing the hide and seek game, that one would be a little bit harder, but anything that just gets them to make a game out of it. And bonus points because they're eating slower because of this. This one's probably my favorite one. It's teach them something new. This could be a practical training session to get them further in their training, in your training goals. It could be a heel focused walk, which honestly you should be doing walk work every day. I call them good dog walks. It is the best way to make progress with your dog, to maintain progress with your dog. If there is an issue with a pet and an owner comes to me, the first thing I ask is, how do they walk on a leash for you? Because if your dog is pulling ahead of you and not attentive to you on a leash, they aren't attentive to you likely in other areas of life. So taking them on a good manner walk, you want them to follow the rules. This is actually really taxing on their brain, especially if this is a new practice. So keep it short because it could be 10 minutes and they are wiped. But I have a couple rules with my dogs. It's loose leash. There should not be any tugging on the leash. Your shoulder should be in line with my hip, so they're never walking past my legs. And I don't want them more than a hand length away from me in general, especially if we're in public. This is also a good time to practice on watch me, where are they focusing. So I really love to prescribe these good dog walks because it's an easy thing you can put into your day, which you should be putting into your day. It could be as short as 10 minutes. It could be a lot longer and you could get your steps in. You could teach them a silly skill. I love teaching a silly skill. One of my favorite silly skills that we taught our dogs was dead dog, which actually turned out to be pretty practical because when I say dead dog, I expect them to lay down on their side and put their head down, which actually is very good in a vet situation. If there's anything that I need to examine, it makes it very easy. Another one that we've taught is crawl. So Drax will come forward on basically his elbows and knees. You could train them for better vet care, have them put their head on a surface and just keep it there, rest their chin there. You could teach them to be calm for the full body exams, practice touching them all over their body and rewarding them for doing that well. Have them wait patiently for pretend injections. So if you have them standing, pinch a bunch of their skin right below their neck and pretend to give them injections. All of those kind of practices really help your dog be less anxious when they go to the vet, and it's working their brain because they're trying to figure out what is the next right thing I need to do so I get rewarded. You'll teach all of these things with mark and reward. So when they take a tiny step towards the right thing, you'll say yes, good, or whatever your mark will be, and then you reward it with a treat. You could teach them a game like fetch, like hide and seek, like frisbee. Honestly, the difference between fetch with a ball and fetch with a frisbee is big, and my dogs hate using frisbee. So even changing up the medium of which you use a game can also work their brain, because there's a whole new aspect that they have to get used to. You can make a game with an aspect of their natural instincts. So do some breed research of their intended purpose, or like I said earlier, what are they already interested in? Make it an appropriate game. So for herding dogs, it could be a ball in the yard. My mother-in-law does this with her dog, and she loves it. Another one that I'm really excited to share with you is dachshunds. A lot of people forget that they are a working breed. Their original purpose was to be like a rodent hunter. So they would dive into these holes to get the vermin. And so they love to burrow. So you could create your own little burrows with like blankets, and you could hide things in them. And it is so cute. If you have a dachshund that burrows, they are the sweetest little cinnamon rolls. Another idea would be to take a class with your dog, something that would interest you both. Like water dogs would love diving, even non-water dogs dive. But diving is a really fun sport. Agility, I think, is so underrated. And you could do agility at home. Just get creative, create tunnel, create a little bridge. All of those things, those new surfaces, those new obstacles, those are all very good for their brain. Now, I know very little about this, but you could even use, if you have a guard dog breed, you could get them into guard work, which would be so useful, especially just to have like a little bit extra self-defense. Like maybe when someone comes through the door, instead of them cuddling with them, they would be able to be like, hey, is this guy safe? You know, and they would think first. So long story short, you're looking for anything that gets their brain working and a way that can be fun for both of you. So take your dog and their interests, plus or minus your environment, work around what you have and the effort that you're willing to put in, and add in a little bit of creativity, and you're gonna find a unique and effective way to give your dog a much happier life. When a dog has purpose and structure, they're fulfilled. That is everything that a dog wants. So I hope you found some good ideas. And if you try any of them or have some ideas that I didn't mention, I would love to hear about it. You can send me a DM on socials or via my website that is linked in the show notes. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning into Hounding Harmony Dog Training. If you found this episode helpful, it would mean the world to me if you'd follow the show and leave a quick review. This helps other dog owners find the support that they need too. For more tips, training help, and encouragement, follow me on TikTok and Instagram at HH_dog training, or you can check out the resources in the show notes. Until next time, keep hounding that harmony.